So I know what you guys have been wondering. I know what you've been wondering, and I've come up with a solution for it. Some of you guys have been buying the rock bags from me, you know, rocks, sticks, you know, this exercise equipment in this apocalyptic world that you need for your home gym. Well, I just found an advanced piece of equipment right here. Okay, this is the advanced training rock. Now, of course, if you do order this rock, you have to come and get it and deliver it to yourself. That's the only stipulation on this. But for a measly price of $500,000, you can have this rock. You can have this rock. All you gotta do is send payment to naturalgalantbodybuilding.com and you could take this rock right home and train with it. Lift it up and down all day long. Throw it on top of your friends that you don't like. Smash trolls with it, you know. Sit on it. Use it as furniture. Whatever you want, you know? But the bottom line is this rock has 1,000,001 purposes. It is definitely worth every dollar. So you can only get this at naturalgalantbodybuilding.com. Remember, you got it here first, this rock right here. And this is totally just not some rock that I found in the park.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Galant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about diet. Now, I had somebody request me to talk about diet a little bit, and yeah, I'm always doing different things on my diet, and I found that different diets work better for me at different times, depending on what's happening with my own individual circumstance, what's happening with my body at the time. So I have noticed that over the years, I did a lot of low-fat dieting with moderate carbs and protein, and that was my go-to diet for the most part, especially when I was younger. So, you know, there could be a lot of different factors like metabolism and everything involved in this. And I do agree with that type of diet for periods of time. So this isn't going to be like one diet is better than the other. It's more like what is happening with your body will determine what diet seems to be the best thing for you. So I thought it'd just be good for me to share with you what I'm doing lately with my diet. And what I'm doing is I'm eating more greens, more protein, and balsamic vinegar on there, along with some olive oil and some shredded carrots, shredded onion. That type of diet or that type of meal is an example of what I'm finding I get the most results from at this point. I feel pretty good because generally speaking, I notice that my appetite is better and I'm able to bring in more protein, but at the same time, I also seem to have a more stable blood sugar level eating like that. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not eating any carbohydrates. I'm still eating some starch here and there, but for the most part, I'm avoiding rice and breads or crackers or any of that kind of crap. Like sometimes I'll have a little bit of yogurt or something and some fruit as far as some lactose for carbs. But for the most part, I'm not having, you know, bucket loads of rice and potatoes and stuff like I usually do with my protein meals, right? So the reason why I'm saying this is that it's important for you to realize that in this day and age where there's always like, there's the people with the carnivore diet, then there's the paleo diet, then there's the low-fat diet, and people are obsessed about which diet is what, but you're going to notice that each diet will have its advantages and disadvantages for you. So for instance, if I was doing a high amount of cardio activity right now, if performing cardiovascular-wise was my first priority, then having a low-carb diet would not be the best thing. You would need a bit of carbohydrates for that fast-acting, explosive type of energy. But when it comes down to anaerobic stuff like weight training, I find that you don't need as much carbohydrates. You may need some, but not as much as, say, a person that's doing a sport that's dominantly cardiovascular, right? So I find because weight training is more anaerobic, I generally feel harder and more pumped and more pumpy and lumpy basically, right? More pumpy and lumpy if I'm eating protein and greens and some fats every meal because my blood sugar is stable. And I think that's exactly what is going on, is that my blood sugar gets stable from eating this way. And because of that, my body starts to become more anabolic. And that is really what you want when you're training. Now, whether this is because I'm older now or what, and my body's responding this way, I don't know. I mean, I noticed that when I did this with my body, when I was around 25, it also seemed to create an anabolic response in the body as well. So what I'm saying is that you may want to cycle your diets from moderately lower carb and higher fats, and then eventually go back into a higher carb, low fat diet for a period of time and see how you feel. Because there's almost like this weird thing that happens when you stabilize your blood sugar for periods of time. It's almost like your body becomes more receptive to insulin, and then the carbohydrates become more anabolic for you. And I talked about this in another video, but when I start to have carbohydrates again through starch, through rice, potatoes, breads, whatever, and as long as I'm eating protein with them, of course, I start to notice that my body blows up. It starts to get more pumped and has a greater capacity to store more glycogen. Now, this only lasts for a week or two, but I noticed that there is something that is going on there that can be a clue as to how to manipulate your body into creating more results and enhancing the recovery, because we all know stable blood sugar is key when it comes down to allowing your body to recover and getting it to be more anabolic, right? So yeah, what I'm doing with my diet now is I'll eat like a chicken salad in the morning, chicken salad in the evening. I'll have like a steak throughout the day. I'll have big chicken leg, you know what I mean? Spicy chicken leg. I'll go to a restaurant where they do spicy chicken and stuff like that. I'll have like half a chicken, eat that. That's mostly what I'm doing right now. So we'll see what happens with my physique over the next little while, but I'm feeling pretty pumpy and lumpy, you know? I don't know if you could tell. It's almost like I'm blending into the rocks in the background. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm blending into the rocks because I'm like built like a rock now. You couldn't see me there, right? Because I was blending right into the rock. I was like, see, I disappeared again. You notice that? It's like I'm not even here. I gotta make sure I don't sell myself on the internet, seeing as I'm selling workout rocks. I wanna make sure nobody buys me by accident. So anyway, I hope this helps give you an idea what I'm doing. I'm not saying you're supposed to do it, but I'm just saying that's kind of what I'm doing with my diet right now, and it's feeling pretty good, so it might be worth an experiment. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalglambodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.